Ms. Collins, can you tell me on the cyber tip line leads, does NCMEC, how many of those does NCMEC send out to the ICACs each year?
Oh, each year. Last year, for instance, we received about 76,000 leads through the cyber tip line. I do not have the number. I have that at my office. I can submit that to you as soon as we get back. But the vast majority of the leads that we do send out to local, state, and federal law enforcement, I would say approximately 70-75% are going to the ICAC task forces.
So is it thousands?
Absolutely.
Would you say?
Absolutely.
And how many leads, Mr. Waters, does the ICAC data network send out to the individual ICACs each year?
We set up the system so that each state can query those dynamically and pull those leads directly. Wyoming, being the state with the lowest population, has roughly 2,000 leads a year, and it runs the gamut from there.
So if Wyoming has the smallest population and arguably the smallest number of leads, then, I mean, this is hundreds of thousands of leads we could potentially be dealing with. Is there any difference between the kinds of referrals coming from NCMEC's cyber tip line and those coming from the ICAC data network that either of you are familiar with?
Sure. The reports that we're actually receiving are a combination of what's coming in from electronic service providers as what's coming in from the public. It can be a parent who said that they found that their child is communicating with a stranger online. It can be somebody who encountered child pornography online. Flint, Mr. Agent Waters, can correct me if I'm wrong, but primarily the ICAC data network is providing information out to law enforcement regarding individuals using peer-to-peer technology to trade images and videos of child pornography.
So, Mr. Waters, did you want to answer, or is that?
That's the primary distinction. One of the advantages that we have from those individuals that we can triage that data so that we can categorize threat levels. Not only do we see who's trading, but we see the volume and the time frame that they're trading, the level of sadomasochism against the child, things like that to help select the best image.
So your process is just more formalized and scientific as opposed to a more informal referral? Well,
it's distinct in the sense that because we know where we're going to be looking at the beginning of each day, we know how to look. But the cyber tip line is receiving information from all types of folks that come across this material, so it runs the gamut of what they run into.
It really does run the gamut, and our analysts add a tremendous, we have over 20 analysts in our cyber tip line who add a tremendous amount of value before we refer these leads out to law enforcement. Because we get so many leads from the ISPs and from the electronic service providers that provide us with the images, we need to rely very closely on our relationship with the ICAC task forces because we're not a law enforcement agency that can mail CDs of child pornography, so we allow law enforcement the secure encrypted access into our system.
I see. Madam Chair, I really appreciate your indulgence. I yield back the balance of your time.